Is it obvious for an actor like you to want to play J.M. Barrie and the story of Peter Pan, or not?
Is it obvious?
Is it an obvious choice?
It seemed obvious for me. It seemed like, I mean, almost instantly as I was reading the screenplay, it seemed like the right thing to do. Because I remembered hearing sort of these stories about Barrie that were less than kind and downright, you know, sort of monstrous. You know, that basically boiled down to just rumor and hearsay, and I thought, that guy, you know, what he gave to the world, you know, with the story of Peter Pan, and other things certainly, but especially with Peter Pan, that gift that he gave us, he deserves more, you know. So if there's any way I can kind of clean up, you know, brush off some of the dirt that's been thrown on his name, I wanted to be able to do that. Now here's a guy who left the proceeds, all the profits from the book, from the play, from whatever, all the rights to the Great Ormond Street Hospital for children. It's not often you hear about people doing things like that, especially in today's world. So I think he was a great man, and I wanted to salute him.
You certainly did. How old were you when you first read Peter Pan or saw Peter Pan in a play or film?
I was probably about, that's probably about 5 or 6, I think, when I saw the animated feature, the Disney thing. And I loved it. I mean, I liked it very much, you know. But for me, you know, at that time, growing up, I was much more interested in, you know, monster movies and stuff, you know. Dracula and Frankenstein, or mysteries, the little black and whites with Basil Rathbone as Sherlock Holmes, you know.
The story is mythological. I don't think there's anybody in the world that doesn't know that story. Yet there is a certain underlying sadness to the myth. Did you feel that? It certainly came across in the film very strongly.
Well, I think that what Barrie, his past was really pretty dark, pretty sad, pretty tragic. I mean, he actually physically stopped growing at a certain age. I mean, like at a young age, at like maybe 14, you know. He stopped growing. He was very sort of small in stature because his brother had passed away. It was really, you know, very, very sad. I think that he was a dark figure. I mean, I think that he had dark moments, certainly, but his ability to relate to children was unbelievable. It was really incredible. He related to children much more than he did adults. He couldn't find his place socially, you know, with his contemporaries. But with children, he was on the floor, you know, sort of playing, you know, Indians or whatever. You know. So.
Do you find the message of the boy who never grows up or never wants to grow up, or, I mean, the person who never wants to grow up, inspirational or tragic?
Oh no, I find it inspirational because I think we're children for a very short period of time, and it's all too soon that the weight of the world starts, you know, throwing layers of muck on your shoulders, and we lose some of those qualities that we had at birth and childhood, you know, the kind of curiosity about things and the fascination with things and an openness to things. You know, we become jaded very, very early, especially in this day and age. So I find it inspirational, the idea that it's very, very important to try to save those things and retain that and use it in your life, you know. I think what Barrie was saying was, you know, fight it, you know. Do your best to not grow up so quickly. It's okay to grow old or be an adult, but maintain those beautiful qualities, you know, because it's necessary in life, you know. It's important stuff.
Talk about working with Mark. Mark was joking before that he didn't grow up on Peter Pan, he grew up on Heidi. So he gets, seems to me, we've all seen it in Monsters Ball, amazing things out of actors. Did you totally connect with this? It seemed like that.
Yeah, what's amazing about Mark is first his inability to manufacture emotion, you know, within the context of the story or scene. He won't let you get by with a lie. It's got to come from a place of truth, and he's a real alarm system built into him for that. He was great in that sense. He's also, I mean, he's a very as a filmmaker, he's a guy who knows what he wants, but he's also very open to things, to suggestions. He's also very sensitive to the process, you know, that an actor has to sort of, what tools an actor has to bring to the table and use. And he had just as from a distance, what I was able to see is an incredible bedside manner in that sense. He was great. I think he's a great filmmaker. He's a great man. I had a ball with him.
And you work really well with children. In fact, you even took Freddie to do your next movie with you.
Yeah, Freddie and I are doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory together. Yeah.
Is he a special kid? I mean, you've worked with children before, but is he a special one?
I mean, they're all special, you know. They're all special. They're all unique in their own way. And all the boys in this were very talented and just great guys, you know, great fun to be around. Freddie had the majority of the work, you know. He had the bulk of the workload, and he was a trooper. He was amazing. Very pure little guy. He's a good man. Yeah, he's very gifted, very talented. I really loved him, you know. I love that kid. Yeah.
And metaphorically speaking, and being a little poetic here at the end, Neverland stands for something. Have you found your Neverland?
I think the idea of Neverland is that it can be whatever you want it to be. You close your eyes and travel, you know, and you go wherever you want to go, you know. For me, you know, my everything is, I got it, you know. I mean, it's, yeah, my kids, you know, my girl, my family, pure happiness, you know. So yeah, I've arrived there, you know, luckily. But I'm very blessed in that sense.
Thank you.
It's always fantastic to be in Venice, and it's a wonderful festival, and I think we're all thrilled to be here. And it's just great for us all, I think, to have an opportunity to actually talk about Finding Neverland, because it was a great experience for all of us, and it was a really very happy shoot, especially having the boys around every day, and there was a kind of a family atmosphere to everything. So it's just, it's lovely for us to talk about this film.
The part of the question about growing up, and whether one would like to stay young forever, and I suppose, well, nowadays it's all a question of surgery, isn't it? No, I mean, of course, the notion is beautiful, the idea of staying a boy or a child forever. But I think you can, you know. I've known plenty of people who were in their later years who were, yeah, like little kids, had the energy of children, and the kind of curiosity and fascination of things as little children. I think we can keep that. I think it's important we keep that. I mean, that part of staying young. But I think it's great fun growing old, you know. I think it's great.
My main concern was when I read the script, I felt like and what we discussed, Johnny, Kate and I, the main thing is that we be really careful that it doesn't become sentimental in a sense. And just because it's this really thin line you're walking off, that something can become really cheesy, in my opinion, or not. So I tried to just pull back what Kate described before, and just to everything to have a very simple approach and to show as little as possible, because I felt the script itself was already so emotional that I think it automatically would come to